People want it to be easy to change, to heal, to repent, and to follow God. But the truth is, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be uncomfortable, and it's going to be messy. It's hard because you're going to have to leave your old ways of living behind. You're going to have to give up everything to follow Him. But I count that all worth it, because by doing that, He's made me new. You cannot serve both God and mammon, and I was serving my relationships, my own image, and lust for a long time, even after I came to God. At a young age, I was by somebody I called a friend. I think that has a role to play in my distorted view of relationships and intimacy. Growing up, I seen my parents fight a lot. They broke up and got back together a few times, and I witnessed my father go on to do that to a few other women as well. I seen him accuse them of cheating with their family, their coworkers, and their friends. I seen how narcissistic he was, and how he would say and do anything to make sure that he was in the right and everybody else was in the wrong. I witnessed how good he was at lying, gaslighting, and manipulating. I've seen and I've heard stories of how lustful he was, and growing up around all that, I began to resent him. I don't know how many times I said to myself that I wouldn't be like him, that I wouldn't do anything like what he did to any of those people. Whenever I noticed that I was acting like him, even just slightly, I would be really, really hard on myself, and I would just constantly be reminding myself of how that made me and others feel whenever he did that. Because of that, I started to view myself very poorly. I became depressed, and I began looking to others for their approval, for them to tell me that I wasn't a bad person. And if they turned their attention away from me for even a moment, I would become very anxious, doing and saying anything to get them to see that I wasn't like my dad. I tried self-improvement for a little while, even other religions and other beliefs, but none of that really seemed to help me. It was almost like putting a band-aid on a bullet hole. I was burying all the things that hurt me in my past and trying to run away from it. I remember becoming very depressed because I felt like no matter what I did, I couldn't change. I thought about taking my own life, and I even planned to do so the very next day, but it was right at that moment that Jesus found me and stopped me. He showed me a love that I've never felt before. It was almost like a gnawing pit inside of my soul was finally filled, and he gave me hope that change was possible. However, I took advantage of his grace and his forgiveness, and I thought that just because he had already taken the price of my sins, that I didn't need to change. I thought that just by believing in him and loving him, that I was saved. And while that's technically true, I wasn't really doing that. When I was in my last relationship, I remember being very good at lying, gaslighting, and manipulating so that people didn't get upset with me whenever I did something wrong. I remember being very anxious and jealous whenever she would mention one of her friends, coworkers, or any other male besides me and her family, because I was scared that she liked them more than me. I also remember being very lustful, meaning I had a very bad porn addiction, and I was pushy when it came to sex. I thought that by doing that, that's what would bring us closer together, because I didn't want her attention away from me. But one day, she broke up with me. I never met anybody that I was able to connect with so deeply. That shattered me. I turned to drugs and alcohol to numb the pain from what I knew I had done. After she told me why she left, I knew that I'd become exactly like my dad. Despite my constant effort to be different, every part of him that I resented, I mirrored. I realized that even though I found Jesus, I never changed. Deep down, I was still just that scared little boy doing anything to not be like his father and needing others to tell him that he wasn't. I'd never truly repented, so I started to. I appreciate my ex for telling me to go to therapy. I only wish that I would have listened sooner. I'm so proud of her for leaving. I know it was hard, but I know it was what was best for her. I don't ever want to hurt anyone else like I hurt her again. I know life's hard, and it's hurt people that hurt people. So I forgive all those who hurt me. Though I'm not perfect, and I won't ever be, I now strive to only cling to Jesus like I tried to with others and with worldly things. John 3:16-21 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He who believes in him is not condemned, but he who does not believe is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is the condemnation, that light has come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone practicing evil hates the light and does not come to the light, lest his deeds should be exposed. But he who does the truth comes to the light, that his deeds may be clearly seen, that they have been done in God." Healing is not about erasing the past or pretending like it never happened. It's about moving beyond identifying yourself by your pain. You're not your pain. You're not what or who happened to you. There's so much more to your humanity than that. God created you on purpose, for a purpose. So no matter how far gone you think you are, there's still hope. Broken things are still beautiful. So now, I have a very important question for you. Are you ready to do hard things?